It's time for Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Now let's have some fun. Here is your host, Johnny Radio.
Yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy, Johnny Radio. I got Jay Morgan Harder in the hizzy, and we are very, very busy. We got Evie Van Pelt at noon to talk a little Ole Miss basketball, football, baseball. We're going to talk about it all. Plus, at 11:30, we're talking with Isaac Simpson. Amen. Isaac loves the NBA because at 2 o'clock today, that's Memphis time, 2 o'clock Central, the trade deadline will have come and gone. It will end at 2, and there has been a lot of movement, a whole lot of movement. In fact, the Nets, remember when they brought in KD, Kyrie, and James Harden? They just became a super team with the big three. How many championships did they win?
They didn't win one, John.
Oh, that's right, they didn't. They won one series in the playoffs.
Hey, you should have won more than one. If KD just wore one shoe size.
By the way, that wasn't a Game 7 when KD's shoe was on the line, was it?
I believe it was. Or if it wasn't a Game 7, it was a series-deciding shot.
Yeah, maybe like the series was ended because they lost.
No, but they would have won the series if he would have made that shot.
Maybe. My memory's not as good as yours, so I'll take it. I'll believe you. But that whole net situation has blown up. And now they're trying to rebuild. They got an ugly contract with Ben Simmons. They got rid of Kyrie. They got rid of KD. What they got back is a bunch of, I don't know. I'll let Jay actually tell you if he likes it. We also have more movement, by the way.
I do like it, actually.
You do like what the Nets got?
I'm actually surprised by the Nets actually not that bad, man. And Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. And then you got Cam Thomas, who's only 21 years old. He scored 40 now in 3 straight games. Not that he's like a world beater necessarily. He has a lot more to prove to get to that point. But I actually don't dislike the Nets nearly as much as you would think if you give up all that stuff, if you give up Kevin Durant, essentially, and Kyrie Irving in back-to-back days. Nets actually – and they got Spencer – don't forget they got Spencer Dinwiddie, too, in that other trade.
Yeah, they had Spencer Dinwiddie, and they traded him away and got him back.
And DFS, too. It's really not a bad roster at all,
so
man.
So the Nets
like
actually, you think, did actually themselves a big favor?
Well, I'm not going to say that because
they were doing nothing with them, so – you got to start rebuilding and doing something.
I mean, they had the longest win streak in the NBA this season, and before Kevin Durant got hurt.
But you have to also understand, you saw what Kyrie said when Durant got out of the Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, that's with hindsight, too, though, because he just asked for a max-level extension from them less than a week ago, too. So I don't know how much I believe what Kyrie said. You know what I mean?
Just for him to come out, how happy he is that KD got out of, Brooklyn, talking about, it's a horrible place to be. It was horrible for him. It was horrible. It was just horrible for all those guys to be together playing basketball on the same damn team, even though that's what they wanted.
I actually take a lot more. A lot of people are going to take a victory lap around Kevin Durant and Kyrie this week, and maybe deservingly so, because they were very open about saying that they're making a lot of decisions and they've got all this power within the organization.
Yeah.
But I blame Sean Marks and Joe Tsai way
big
more.
Time. I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean? Because they were the ones that went out and got James Harden.
You never let the hens run the hen house, do you?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, those are like chickens, though. They can't do anything. But I mean, they were the ones that went out and got James Harden and gave up Dinwiddie and Karis LeVert and Jared Allen.
Stupid.
And that was a team that could have been built on that depth with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving to be really good. There was no reason to go get James Harden. Then you end up having to trade him anyway in this Ben Simmons deal. I think if you're going to blame somebody for the Nets' inability to win a championship with that group or even win multiple playoff series, like you said, I think the onus should fall way more on Joe Tsai and Sean Marks. That's a terribly run organization, and that predates Kyrie and Kevin Durant getting there for sure.
It also shows that it was just 2019 when they began doing all this. I mean, it hasn't been long.
Quick turnaround.
It was a very quick turnaround, but bringing in Kevin Durant, bringing in Kyrie, then getting James Harden, it also shows that you have to have leadership and you have to have a strong coach, and it has to start from the top because you cannot let the inmates run the prison. You can't let the hens run the hen house. Can't let the roosters crow. I don't know.
I like that last one.
What I'm saying though is it just shows that
You can't let the producers run the radio station.
that's another great one. I
That's
like
a
that
good one.
Can't let today we can because I am hung over, son. But anyway, the point is, Kyrie, KD, they're gone now. Where they landed yesterday, we were really excited. You were excited, especially about what Dallas is going to have. You got a great backcourt. You got Luka. You got Kyrie. Both guys can flat out put it in the hole. And by the way, scoring is very important in basketball. Just ask the Volunteers who lost to Vanderbilt yesterday.
You know they.
By the way, do you feel stupid for saying that you think they could make it to the Final Four?
I don't. It's
You
a regular,
still think
it's
they
a regular
can?
season league game on the road. I don't feel stupid because of that.
Bro, they just got beat by Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt's only won one less conference game than Arkansas. And Arkansas is this highly touted program that people think can go really far in the tournament.
I don't think Tennessee makes it to the second round of the tournament.
It's also that's fair enough. I mean, it's also a road league game though.
They
so
win one
different.
game and then they lose the next one. I'm sorry. This Tennessee team, you have to score. And I was talking about the NBA. By the way, I told you Alabama was going to kill Florida, didn't I?
You did, but you also said Tennessee was going to kill Vanderbilt.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I said we wouldn't touch it. No, because I went yesterday and said I wouldn't bet on anything but the under in that game because Tennessee could, who knows, lose that sucker. Because why? Because I said they can't score.
They can't.
They can't. And
they can't put the ball. You got to put the ball through the hoop, John.
And the dudes that can put the ball in the hoop are definitely in the NBA. But again, I was gonna one other thing I was gonna say. I told you, listen to me. I gave you Alabama. Alabama won. Jay put me in the poorhouse last night because I put everything on the deadgum Clippers, and the Clippers lost the game. Loser. Thanks, buddy. But I did make it back in some Berlin basketball at 3 o'clock in the morning.
John, this is not the day to come back at you here, but I gave you another winner other than that game, too.
Yeah, but that the late game,
also,
that was the last game
but also,
of the day.
You were very convinced that the Heat are trash and were going to get killed by the Pacers, and they won the game.
They won it, and by the way, I did end up betting on the Heat.
There you go. So there you go.
I did actually.
So
switch
you were on the
gears.
right side of that one.
I did get lucky in that one. But back to all the moves. So we talked about how Kyrie's now, he's in Dallas. What do you think about Kevin Durant going to Phoenix? Phoenix has got some dudes right now. Is Phoenix now your favorite pick to possibly win it all this year?
I like the Celtics still, but if we're just
I'm sorry. The
just
best team in the West.
Yeah.
Just the best team. The Celtics, no matter what they do, they're just bad to the bone. But what do you think now about this Phoenix team?
It's them and the Nuggets. I mean, I think any team in the West can make it far, but I tend to side with Kevin Durant. But I don't want to look past the Nuggets.
Bro, you
they
got
put together a good season.
two dudes.
Agreed.
Like two dudes.
MVP caliber players.
That can flat out score the basketball,
Right.
and Booker and Durant.
And then you got Chris
Paul
Paul, one of the best
is
point guards
a
ever played the
damn
game.
leader, except for in the postseason, in the playoffs.
Well, this is set up
he
great.
can't defend anybody.
John, let me tell you, this is a great setup, great for us on the radio. Is if the Suns do win the championship, you don't have to give credit to Chris Paul or Kevin Durant because they both needed each other to do it to win that second championship. KD had to go to Golden State to win the first one. Now he has to go here to win another one, and Chris Paul couldn't do it without Kevin Durant. So you are set up for success. We're both set up for success, no matter what. We don't have to give them any credit at all.
Well, that's ain't nasty. And then you got DeAndre Ayton down at the center who can actually grab some rebounds and play a little defense. Who's going to be the three? Is it going to be TJ Warren?
No, it's probably
Torrey Craig?
I think Torrey Craig's probably going to start. It could be TJ Warren. I don't think it's going to be TJ Warren.
That's the only weakness that they have basically on their team right now.
Torrey Craig's a good player, though.
I mean, I'm just saying when you talk about Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant,
Yeah,
and
he's
Ayton,
the worst of the
those
five.
no
doubt.
It is nasty. So we've got a lot of moves. The other thing that I thought was pretty interesting, the Lakers. Rob Pelinka decided to get in a little bit of trade action.
Lakers are scary too, man.
Lakers are a scary team.
They are, man. Those are good players. They got
They're
Malik
better
Beasley
because
and Jared
they
Vanderbilt
are
and
better.
D'Angelo Russell.
Hold on. Listen, they got back D'Angelo Russell. I don't understand why Minnesota got rid of D'Angelo Russell. Ant-Man and D'Angelo Russell have probably been the best they've been the best backcourt in the NBA since probably January. They've been balling together. Ever since Big Cat went down, have you not noticed that Russell and Ant-Man have been just dominating?
But it's not necessarily equating to a lot of wins either.
Well, it's not because their team's not that great.
Well, so you win no matter what. But I think Mike Conley could add a dimension to that team.
Do you really?
In terms of playing a role that they need, because like you said, you just named two very high usage players. You went and made this deal for Rudy Gobert. You're not necessarily seeing your return.
The stupidest move they've ever made in their life.
That's more than fair. A fair point, but
it's almost as dumb as what the Nets did.
I don't think what the Nets did was necessarily dumb. I mean, I would have wanted to keep both Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Hindsight, of course, is 20/20, but you can look back and say that was a colossal disaster. I mean, maybe if COVID doesn't happen, maybe it works out because Kyrie.
But it's not because of Kyrie and Kevin Durant, though. You know what I mean? It's not their fault. Like, that's why I put the onus on
you got to put. You're telling me you aren't going to give any responsibility to Kyrie about how come it didn't work in Brooklyn?
No,
You're joking, right?
No, I'm not. I don't think I am.
So he can come out and make anti-Semitic remarks. He can come out and not get the shot and go to the games. I mean, I'm not a shot guy. I'm just saying, like, he did not play basketball last year in any of the home games.
Yeah,
and you're saying that did not affect the product?
No, it did, but those are
answering questions every single night about will Kyrie get the shot.
Those are external factors, though.
But you're saying that external factors don't have anything to do with what goes on in the locker room. Just look at Anthony Davis the other night when LeBron James is breaking the record. It was because of a fight during halftime with Russell Westbrook and DeVar Ham. That was an external thing, but did you see how it affected him on the court? Lakers lost that game, and Anthony Davis was checked out.
Fair enough.
Look, what's going on between your ears has a lot to do with also what goes on. That's why, like, Tom Brady getting divorced this year, he was a great quarterback. Then he gets divorced, and he's out partying all night long, coming to the practice facility hungover, just thinking about the cheerleaders during the game instead of focusing on his job.
Fair enough, but I don't really see what those things had to do with whether or not the Nets were successful on the court with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Like we say,
if Kyrie's over there worried about the flat earth, how's he worried about putting the ball in the hole?
You could be right, but also I think when the margin is one smaller shoe size for Kevin Durant, whether or not they win that series against the eventual NBA champs and probably win the NBA championship themselves, that one shot is that margin of error. I don't feel comfortable saying it's their responsibility reason why that was some colossal failure. I think it lands much more heavily on Sean Marks and Joe Tsai.
I can see exactly what you're saying. It does come from the top down. But 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. What do you think about what are the biggest reasons that it did not work in Brooklyn? Let me know. 901-360-8255. Now, I got to know the Lakers. They got rid of Russell Westbrook. I have this feeling that Russell Westbrook, if he does not change the way he thinks, the way he plays, his attitude, he is going to be out of the league very soon. Like, he will be a Carmelo Anthony, forced to go out of the league because he won't accept the role that he needs to play. And I just feel like that's ridiculous.
You said Kyrie, I may or may not. Oh, Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
What if he goes to there? He's already been included in talks today to go somewhere else. Oh, Brooklyn. They want to send him to Brooklyn now, and I can't remember who for. Was it Brooklyn? Yeah, you know what? I'm going to double check that. I don't remember.
Yeah, check it out. But the Lakers also made some move. Again, I don't know if these are good. I think these are actually great because this Lakers trade, they can now actually have some shooters sit out there. It's going to open up the floor. It's going to let Anthony Davis and LeBron James do a little bit more work in the paint. They actually have some guys who can shoot a three-pointer now. I don't know, man. I'm kind of Malik Beasley, very underrated.
Those are good defenders.
That dude
too,
can Jared Vanderbilt can play some defense. That's a dog right there.
And then you got Anthony Davis, who for a period of time this year was the best player in the world, and then you have LeBron James, who at age 38 is averaging his age and also playing maybe some of his best basketball of his career. That's a scary matchup. If the Lakers make the play, I'm telling you what. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth when I say this. I don't necessarily think the Grizzlies should or need to make a move, but I'm not comfortable at all with any of the matchups. I mean, I'm scared the Grizzlies might not make it out of the first round with what's happening today in the Western Conference. Seriously. All these teams, I mean, I can name 8 teams that would pose matchup problems.
Right now, I'm just telling you right now, the NBA West is nuts. I mean, the East, it's the Celtics, it's the Bucks. In the West, man, you have no idea. I mean, are the Kings going to continue to win?
Maybe so.
You know,
and honestly, if let's say they drop down to 7 or 8,
there's 10 teams in the West right now that can actually play some ball.
I'm
going to have to say
that's a great point.
This is so damn deep right now.
And listen, think about the Kings, John. Think about the matchup they've had with the Grizzlies this year when they were fully healthy. If the Kings start losing and these other teams start winning, and they drop down to a 7 or 8. That's a terrifying first-round matchup for the Grizzlies. The Kings match up so well with this team.
So true.
It's so tough, man. It's just there's no comfortable. You cannot be comfortable at all if the Grizzlies are a 2 seed, 1 seed, doesn't matter. You can't be comfortable at all. It's going to be daunting to get out of the first round.
It's going to be daunting. But I love the fact that D'Angelo Russell is there. I think Malik Beasley can shoot. LeBron James is going to be helped out a whole lot. Anthony Davis. Rui's been playing good. I mean,
he has been.
Like right now, this.
But he's going to have to take a step back with these new additions, too. He's not starting in that lineup.
I don't know, man. Who's going to play the 4?
Vanderbilt.
You think Jared Vanderbilt's going to be the starter?
That's what I would do. But
I was thinking he might come off the bench and be that defensive 6-man role player. Just go out there and just meet and mug it up, you know?
I could be.
I don't know. I would tell you one thing. The Lakers got I think, a hell of a lot better. Do you understand what Utah was doing?
No, I don't.
I don't either.
I don't. Maybe this could be
Or Minnesota. Minnesota and Utah, I'm just kind of lost.
Maybe Utah did not anticipate being. This is just a conjecture here.
Decent.
Maybe they didn't, and Danny Ainge didn't expect them to be in this position, and was comfortable selling at the deadline because of that. I hate that, honestly, for the guys on the team. Lauri Markkanen's an all-star playing the best basketball of his career. They're playing good basketball. They've got good players. I know it's a business and these players go into it knowing it's a business, but that just must be demoralizing to be on a franchise that you feel like doesn't have your back. But they are getting Westbrook in return, and Westbrook's still a good plays at a high level, even though.
Do you think that this is not going to be like? I feel like this is going to be a disaster in the locker room. I mean, you look at Minnesota and what all they have over there. That's going to be a disaster in the locker room as well. I feel like
with adding Conley.
No, I just think that Cat's going to be just.
Well, Cat only cares about himself.
He only cares about himself, so he's kind of basically. Yeah, he's a poison in himself.
I agree. I'm not a cat guy.
I'm not either.
I'm not a cat guy.
I am not either. I'm a dog guy.
I was about to say, I don't like Karl Anthony Towns either.
Oh, what a wild day in the NBA. It's going to continue. We're going to keep you abreast of the breaking news and the moves that are going on. I'm excited to talk a little NBA, and we got Isaac on the other side to talk about it. But I'm going to jump in the box real quick. And how am I going to get in the box? I'm going to get in the box with the help of my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. You can call my buddy Bill anytime. He will buy any house, any area, as is. It is as simple as that. You call 901-406-1101, bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. And there's a lot of people out there right now. I've seen some other people out there who've been doing this. We'll buy any house, any area, as is. Well, you won't get the most money for it. You got to call Bill at I Buy Houses. He will give you the biggest chunk of change. He's guaranteed to close in 5 days. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. I'm in the box.
Oh, John, you know what this music means?
Super Bowl.
Not quite. It means it's deadline.
Oh, yeah, this is the NBA music. You're going to kill me.
Day.
I don't know if anybody's still listening.
Why not?
That hurt.
It's deadline day.
It is deadline day.
So, John, the deadline, you mentioned this earlier, is at 2 o'clock today. The Grizzlies right now are standing pat. It looks like they might do that for good. John, if you were the Grizzlies, do you feel like you need to make a move to compete in the West? Or do you just need to trade for a magic healer that can get Steven Adams back on the court?
I was getting ready to say they need the magic elixir just to get everybody healthy and on the court at the same time. It is amazing how we have gone to where they traded JV a couple years ago. Do you remember? Everybody was freaking out. Oh, my God, why'd we get rid of Jonas Valanciunas? Why? To now, Aquaman is the missing link. Now, he does kind of look like the missing link in real life.
He does, actually. That's a great point.
But he is right now the missing link for Grizzlies and victories.
It's a good nickname for him.
The missing link?
Yeah.
I like that.
Me too.
Screw Aquaman. It's the missing link.
That's a great point.
Telling you, we're bringing it today. But the missing link right now is the biggest issue. They need him back. Jaren Jackson Jr., and I hate to do this because I don't hate to do this. I just do it all the time. I'm so sick and tired of the national media, people on Twitter. Jaren Jackson Jr. leading for the Defensive Player of the Year, blah, blah, blah. Did you see how they lost the other night? Jaren Jackson Jr. was 1-on-1.
They went right at him.
Went right at him, and what happened? Bucket. God, who was it that made him look?
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, it was Scotty Barnes. Scotty freaking Barnes, man.
Scotty Barnes went right at him. I have everyone.
He did it 2 times in a row right there at the end of the game,
Two
the final
possessions
minute.
at the end of the game. It was also I can't remember who the other people were, but there was Precious.
Precious.
Not
Did
the
you see that
baseline,
dunk,
not
by the
even
way?
just the baseline dunk. Just went right at him, bullied him out of the way, post move. You're right.
So anyway, the point is without the missing link,
He's not your 5.
Trey J is not the shot blocker, and he's not as effective as a defender as he is. When the missing link's out there, it's amazing what Jaren Jackson Jr. can do from the weak side when it comes to blocking shots.
Agreed.
So I think we need him so bad. I'm not necessarily, like you said, I don't know what moves are out there to be make. We've talked about a bunch of hypotheticals.
There's so many crap rumors out there right now.
There's so many of them that there's just no reason to go through it.
That's right.
I have a feeling that 2 o'clock's going to come and go, and the only thing that we're going to know is that we need the missing link.
Will you be content if they don't do anything and just get healthy again?
I will be.
Me too.
I will be. Lots of moves going on in the NBA. It's time to talk about the Grizzlies, the Tigers, and so much more. We've got Isaac Simpson on the other side. It is a thirsty Thursday, isn't it?
I'm thirsty.
Oh, man, I need me a fat drink, to be honest with you. Don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Come out to 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill for the Big Game Showdown. February 12th starting at 5 p.m. Half-price select appetizers, drink and bucket of beer specials, and food specials. Plenty of TVs to watch the big game. It's going to be a super day for football at the #1 sports bar in DeSoto County. Plus, Sports 56 very own Johnny Radio will have some giveaways and your chance to win some prizes. Big Game Showdown Watch Party, February 12th, 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill, Getwell Road here in South Haven.
Did you hear about Taco Bell's apology? Yeah, they apologized for going too far with their breakfast. Like the naked egg taco and chicken biscuit nachos? It was too much. All you need in the morning is tasty, simple food. Like the breakfast crunch wrap. Fluffy eggs, melty cheese, sausage, crispy hash browns, wrapped in a warm tortilla. Or, as some call it, a breakfast crunch thing. Grab one today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell stores during breakfast hours only until 11 a.m. while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation, which vary.
We told you this was going to happen, and now it has. The floor model sale is happening at Family Leisure. Lowest prices of the year on pool tables, on those wonderful spas, on patio furniture, state-of-the-art, and, of course, the game tables. Floor model arcades are now starting at $1,200. It's your last chance for a 2022 pool. And floor model trampolines are only $2,100. That's the installed price. Family Leisure, I-40 and Wooden Road, where family and fun come together.
Hi, everybody. Greg Gaston for FanDuel. Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun bet types like same-game parlays, and exclusive always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events that let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started, and be sure to sign up with promo code GASMAN so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code GASMAN. Must be 21 or over and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit is required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
I only do one thing, residential real estate sales. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark Spensdorf Realtors.
I'm Kelly Erb and work with Sheldon at Mark Spensdorf Realtors. Sheldon, what happens if someone needs help with a commercial or an investment property?
Kelly, over the years, I've had many people ask if we could help them buy, rent, or sell commercial properties, investment, warehouse spaces, or land. But as Clint Eastwood said, a man has to know his limitations, and I know mine. We work with specialists in the real estate industry who are trained and know a whole lot more than we do in commercial sales, leasing, and so forth. So remember what people say about selling houses when you want the job done. Who do you call, Kelly?
You call or email Sheldon or me, Kelly Erb, at 355-3830. And if it's not involving residential, check with us anyhow, as we know people who know what they're doing in other fields.
That's Kelly Erb at 355-3830, or reach me, Sheldon Rosengarten, at MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the hizzy, and we very, very busy. We got Isaac Simpson. That's right. It's time to talk a little NBA because you know what today is? It's not just a Thirsty Thursday.
It's deadline day.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you. It is deadline day at 2 o'clock. T-minus what? What time is it?
It's 11:30, so
T-minus
2.5
hours,
yeah.
man.
But
Actually,
then the news
it's
will trickle
11:31.
Oh,
2 hours and 29 minutes.
The news will trickle in a little after that too.
A little trickle.
Oh, I love a trickle.
Just a little trickle.
More than twice when you're playing with yourself.
That is true. That's why it's 2 shakes of. Never mind. And then you got to bounce.
Yep.
Oh, we got to talk about what's going on and what's not going on. We got the Grizzlies staying pat currently, not doing anything. I want to know what you people think they should do. Should they stay pat? Should they just go out there and hire a magic healer? I think that would be great because we need the missing link back. And first and foremost, I want to ask Isaac Simpson, what do you think about the new nickname for Steven Adams? Instead of Aquaman, instead of Kid Kiwi, we call him the missing link.
Man, it definitely appears that he's the missing link, man, with the way the team has looked since he went down. I mean, he just does, like you said, covers up so much for this team, and I think a lot of people, I don't know, realize that, and I think they definitely realize it now.
They better realize it now because without him, it has not been pretty. Now, with Kyrie, with KD, with James Harden, my kinfolk, it wasn't pretty in Brooklyn. Now Brooklyn is they've gotten rid of everybody and their grandmother. They are starting afresh. They are starting anew. What do you think about, how do we look at Sean Marks? How do we look at Josiah? How do we look at Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, that whole situation that we had that went on in Brooklyn, and now that it's basically over and dismantled, where do you stand?
Man, I think they could have gotten more for both of those guys in the summer. I think they got a big haul, but I think during the summer when they kind of decided to kind of kumbaya and bring everything together, bring both of those guys back, I think they had a better opportunity this summer. But the haul they got, I think it's in transition. I think there are definitely more moves to be made from them probably today in an offseason because they're hoarding big wings. I mean, they have all the big wing players in the league right now on that Nets team. And if you're a Grizzlies fan, man, that's the team, or the Grizzlies front office, that's the team that I'd be picking up the phone and calling. A guy like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, I think those are two guys that would fit perfectly.
Didn't they
on this
just get
team.
Cam Johnson from Phoenix?
Yeah.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think they definitely have to move some of those guys on because I'm saying they got those two guys. They got Dorian Finney-Smith. They did move Jay Crowder. That just came down. He went to Milwaukee for 5 second-round picks, which I don't know if I've ever seen a deal.
Hold on, Jay Crowder already got moved on from Brooklyn after getting picked up by Phoenix. So Brooklyn gets him from Phoenix, and now Brooklyn's already gotten rid of Jay Crowder. And what'd they get for him?
5 second-round picks.
Whoa! Did they get 4 first-round picks from Phoenix?
In that deal, it was a bigger deal, but
wow.
But they're in transition mode. Like all of these guys, they're not going to keep all these guys. Some of these guys, even more of them, are going to be moved today. And Mikal Bridges is, I think, the name that if you're the Grizzlies, I would throw everything at him. He's really the only guy left on the market that I think I would kind of go all in for. We talked about OT last week, and if between the two, if I had a choice, I think Mikal Bridges is the better fit for this team. He's better offensively. There's word that OG wants to be at minimum the second option on whatever team he goes to, and that's not going to be the case here. And Mikal Bridges' contract is better. You only have 1.5 years left on OT. You have, I think, 3.5 left on Mikal Bridges. So I think he's a better culture fit. He would be perfect. I don't know if Brooklyn is going to be willing to move on from him because he's kind of that possibly key piece of that trade, the piece that they might want to keep. But if I'm the Grizzlies, man, I'm on the phone, man. I'll give you 3 first. I'll give you Dillon. I would go all in on Mikal Bridges, man. I think he's a perfect fit for this team. I love his game and culture fit, everything, man. I think he's perfect for this team.
Interesting. I didn't even really think about that one. I kind of like that. We'll see if anything happens. We have till 2 o'clock. Do you think the Grizzlies make any moves, or do you think when 2 comes, they will still be pretty much the same team?
And as I've said the whole time, if I was a betting man, I would say that they don't. And it just goes to the philosophy that I've talked about for this front office, which I disagree with, but
they don't really go for it.
In order for them to make a move this season, that means that they have to care about putting their best foot forward this season, and I'm just not sure that they do. Everything that they've done so far, they haven't made a single move, this regime, that kind of shows that, okay, we realize that we're contending right now, and we're going to try to do something to maximize this year. Everything they do is based in long term, so I think a lot of people think the moves last night, Kevin Durant getting moved to Phoenix, and you got Kyrie in Dallas. A lot of people think that makes it more likely that they'd make a move. I think there's a possibility they could make it even less likely, because if you're conservative and you're not going for it, they kind of look at no move that we make this year is going to put us in position to be better than those teams. So we're just going to keep our powder dry and kick the can down the road. I think that's a possibility. Another interesting thing, and I've talked about this on here before as well, is the Dillon Brooks situation. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the season.
Yep.
And if you're not going to pay him, I think you need to move on from him. There's been this kind of train of thought, well, they're contending this year. In order for you to contend this year, you still need Dillon in the playoffs. But now that this West is kind of transitioned, and I think you moved down a couple rungs, having him in the playoffs, if you feel like you're not going to be able to compete at that level anyway, is not quite as important. So I think if you notice you're not going to pay him, I think that makes it even more reason why
it's imperative that they actually move him. Like, if you're not going to, it's no reason just to have him come and go. It's kind of like if you watch the Raiders with Derek Carr, that whole situation. That's kind of embarrassing for their front office. But everything is just kind of wild right now in the West. And if you look at the West right now, where you talked about the Grizzlies might have fallen a few rungs, how much more? They haven't played any games. We don't know. It's the trade deadline. It's always on paper. But on paper, the Lakers got a hell of a lot better. On paper, the Suns got a lot better. On paper, the Mavericks got a lot better. The West is the best. Well, not really, because Boston's the best, but the West is the most deep conference by far.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And if those guys are healthy in Phoenix, man, you have Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, man. That's just a ridiculous combo. That's going to be hard for anybody to match up with. And Chris Paul, I know he's dropped off for wrong, but any given time, man, he can have a little throwback moment, man. So I think with those guys, I think he can make some hay there. I think right now, if Phoenix is healthy, I think you got to have them at the top. Denver is still there. They were already ahead of you. You got Dallas, and Luka didn't play last night, but Kyrie sure didn't waste any time fitting in down there, man. That looked fantastic. I think their defense is going to suffer because they got rid of most of their defensive pieces. But with Luka and Kyrie, man, offensively, man, they're going to be a juggernaut. It's going to be interesting to see how that relationship kind of gels, because I was talking about this before, man. We know how unstable Kyrie can be, and Luka's a cranky guy, man. There's been rumors that he had a problem with Porzingis when he was there.
Well, Kristaps Porzingis, they had a problem with him, and do you know why? Because Kristaps Porzingis couldn't get himself out of the shake joint. He was always, they said, at the strip club.
Yeah, so Luka's not going to put up with any foolishness from Kyrie, so I can see that being a powder keg just ready to blow up. We'll see how it works, but on paper, that's a fantastic offensive combo. There's no question about that. So the West is much tougher, man. And again, man, I think at best you could say the Grizzlies are the third best team, and I think that's giving them a lot of credit. I just think the team is currently constructed.
Well, right now we know Denver hasn't made any moves yet, have they? I haven't seen any from Denver, right?
Yeah, they actually got Thomas Bryant from the Lakers, which I think is
that's
a really good move from them. I think Thomas Bryant's a good player. You have him coming out behind Luka, or whether you want to start him at power forward. I think that's a nice pickup for a team that's already really good, that necessarily need any help. So I think that's a pickup for them. So it's tough for the Grizzlies right now, man. I think Mikal Bridges is kind of the only guy that I would go all in on. I don't think I would make that move for OG, because I just think outside of that, Mikal's a guy that projects going forward as a piece that could be really good for this team. It's really no need to really work around the margins now, because I don't think a move of that magnitude is going to really move the needle for them for this season. So I'm a guy that, again, I always want them to be a little bit more aggressive, but I want them to make the smart moves. And now seeing how the landscape of the West has changed, I think going out and get a guy like Mikal Bridges would be really good. If you can get OG without overpaying him, I would be interested. The rumors just came out that Golden State is actually making a push for him. You definitely don't want that to happen. So it's going to be interesting, man. A couple ago, you said 2.5 more hours, man. I think there's going to be a lot of activity they have to go, because I think the Nets have to do some stuff. I think the Lakers are probably going to do some other things. So there's going to be some more movement, man. It's just going to be interesting to see if the Grizzlies will be part of that. If I had to bet, I would say they don't. If they do something, it's going to be minor, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong.
The Nuggets brought in Bryant. The Grizzlies haven't really moved. The Nuggets are, of course, in first place in the West. The Grizzlies are, even though they're 2-8 in their last 10, they're still sitting at second place in the West. The Kings are behind them, the Mavericks, the Suns, the Clippers, the Pelicans, yada, yada, yada. But everybody below them is making a ton of moves. Right now, who do you think the best two teams in the West are? And, of course, I know it's on paper, but going forward, who do you have as your favorite?
And quickly, I was going to add that the Pelicans are a threat for OG as well.
Oh,
so
great.
You don't want that to happen either. So, but I think on paper right now, I think I would have to go with Phoenix at the top. I know you're adding a lot. It's going to change their team dynamics a lot. But if those guys are healthy, man, that's going to be tough to deal with. And I think you got to put Denver right there with Jokic and Thomas Bryant. I mean, they're already first in the West. So I think those are probably the top two teams right now. I think after that, you just got to see the Grizzlies play better. I mean, you think you want to put them at third, but you say with Dallas, they're getting Kyrie and going to have Luka. And if OG does end up going to the Pelicans, I think that could be an issue. Sacramento hadn't really done anything, but they're gaining on you anyway. So it's going to be interesting. But I think at the top, I would put Phoenix at the top and Denver right now as the top two teams in the Western Conference.
It makes a lot of sense. I think I have to agree with you. I also wanted to ask you about the Lakers. Do they have now enough so LeBron James and Anthony Davis can go to work down in that paint? I feel like going out there, I think D'Angelo Russell, getting him was awesome, because, I mean, D'Angelo Russell and I feel like Ant-Man were the best, basically backcourt in basketball basically since January. They've been playing out of control ever since Big Cat got injured. You bring Russell over there, you open up some shooting. I really I have to say, I like what the Lakers did. I think Rob Pelinka actually did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, I think they got a lot better. I think that deal makes they needed to go out and do something, and I think that trade really helps them. I mean, they had, I think, probably 5 rotation level players, and now they have like 8 rotation level players. So that's definitely a better team, I think.
And getting Russell Westbrook out of that locker room, who obviously had become basically a cancer, because, I mean, you saw Big Cat's face the other night. LeBron James is making memories and breaking records, and Anthony Davis looked like he was ready to fight somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a good look out there. I mean, you had Darvin Ham coming out saying that most of their play has been more centered around LeBron breaking the record than actual basketball. I mean, that wasn't a happy camp out there in the Lakers, but I think this trade will help them. I was like, getting Vanderbilt, I think gives them some flexibility, things you can do, some size with him and LeBron. You talk about D'Angelo Russell, even though he's been inconsistent throughout his career, shooting 39% from 3 this year, and I think that'll really play well off of LeBron. So I think and Malik Beasley is another guy, come off the bench, knock down some shots for you. Of course, he's going to start. We'll see how that works out. But I think those are some good pieces. I think even before then, I think they were going to be possibly a play-in team, and I think they could possibly sneak up into that 6-7 range now that they've a 6-6 range now that they've kind of made these moves. So the West is going to be tough. I mean, it's going to be tough down the stretch. Grizzlies have a tough schedule. So we'll see how it plays out. They're in second right now, but again, man, you got Sacramento gaining on you, and you got, I think Phoenix is going to be coming up on the rear for sure, and Dallas as well. So you got to watch the back, man. It's going to be interesting to see if this front office prioritizes this season. How much do they care about trying to continue to move forward this season And I'm not so sure what their thoughts are on there because everything they've done, like I said, it would be against their character to kind of make a move like that. But I think with Mikal Bridges, like I said, is a guy that I think going forward, you can see him as a real big fit to the team next to John, next to Desmond, next to Darren, to be that fourth guy that you could add to that and have a big four instead of a big three. And I think his contract fits really well, timeline, everything fits for him. I don't know if Brooklyn's going to be willing to move him, like I said, because I think they might see him as the prize of that deal. But, I mean, I would love to see him down at 191 bill.
I was going to say, I don't know. Brooklyn's pretty much looks like they're open for business. Maybe you could get a deal done. We'll see. Just lob them a call and see what's going on because they're getting rid of everybody and their grandmother. Now, we didn't talk about this, the Mavericks. This went down early. This was one of the big shiny pieces that we were all talking about yesterday. Kyrie and Luka, do they fit? Did the Mavericks get better?
They definitely got better on paper. There is no question about that. Like you said, man, Kyrie, when his head's screwed on straight, he's locked in. He's no doubt a top 10 player in basketball.
Also, the thing about Kyrie, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just feel like in the playoffs, when it's not as much as getting up and down and it's more half-court basketball, that's where he really goes out there and shows you he's a damn wizard. You know what I mean? Like playoff basketball, half-court basketball, that's where Kyrie shines. Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. I think the two best finishers at the rim in the league for guards are definitely Kyrie Irving and John Morant. I mean, some of the finishes that you see from Kyrie Irving, the way his layup package is just out of this world. And really good three-point shooter. And he's going to get a lot of good looks because you playing with Luka. He's going to be doubling down on him. I mean, on paper, that's a haul. Now, I worry about their defense. They're going to have to win games 141 to 140, but they're going to be a juggernaut as long as the relationship works out. They're happy right now, but we'll see how long that lasts. I think Cuban and Dallas took a big risk because there's an opportunity for Kyrie to walk this summer, and we know that he has made it clear that he wanted to be in L.A. with LeBron, and that's still on the table for him. So they better hope that marriage works because they gave up a lot for a guy that's not guaranteed. And the thing I always say about Kyrie is you never know. You talked about giving him a 2-year extension. You never know what Kyrie's going to be thinking day to day. After the trade, I made the joke that he's going to wake up tomorrow morning and retire, and that's kind of a joke. But with Kyrie, you just never know what he's going to be thinking on a day-to-day basis. So it's a risk for Dallas. But I think if they can get the attitudes and everything in line in that locker room and everything works out, I think they're going to be a big-time threat this season. They were already surprisingly in the Western Conference Finals last year. Even though they lost defense, I think those two guys offensively will be enough to make up for that, and they're going to be a threat in the West. There's no question about that once playoff time rolls around.
And we really hadn't talked much about it, but you did talk a little bit about, OG, the Golden State's making a last-minute effort to try to acquire him. Do the Warriors, the defending champs, do they have enough if they don't do anything?
I don't think so. I think they're kind of in the same, and we didn't even mention that. That's another team that even though the Grizzlies are in front of them, they just can't seem to solve. They've had opportunities, and that team just seems to beat them no matter what. So that's a middle hurdle. But I think they're kind of in the same kind of situation that the Grizzlies are. I don't think it's currently constructed, even when they're healthy. I don't think they have enough to compete with Phoenix, Denver, and Dallas if Dallas is right. So I think they're kind of in that same spot. I'm not going to say the Grizzlies aren't contenders anymore. They were at the top of that contender list. Now they're kind of, I think, in that space where the grit and grind teams were in that era, where they could win a championship if everything broke right. You might get into a series where a guy gets hurt or something like that, and you get a couple breaks and you end up in the finals that you could win on one that way. But they're definitely not at the top of the list anymore, and I don't think Golden State is either.
All right, I've spent almost all the time. It is trade deadline day in the NBA, but I do have to ask you a quick question. What's up with the Tigers, man?
Man, big win last night. Really, really impressive win, man. That was one that kind of worried me because you knew Tyler Harris was going for that record. You knew going up against Memphis, he was going to want some revenge, and he gave his best effort. It wasn't for him, man. He had a moment where he looked over to the Tigers bench where he was kind of cooking Kendrick Davis on the offensive end and said, man, you better pull out Alo because Kendrick Davis can't guard me. And they had a little situation right there. So, but it's a big win, man. Memphis kept getting out to a double-digit lead. You just have to throw another punch, get back in the single digits, and every time Memphis was able to bounce back and end up winning it going away by 18, man. So I think really impressive victory. You get 49 points between Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams. Also big games, double-digit games from Keontae Kennedy with 19, and Elijah McCadden for 14. And I think all season they've been looking for other guys to kind of emerge outside of the two big guys, and Kendrick and DeAndre. And lately they've been getting that from Keontae Kennedy and Elijah McCadden. They really need some shooting, and Keontae Kennedy has turned himself into a pretty reliable three-point shooter here lately. So I think that changes this team, and they just need to get healthy. It's kind of switched. Penny has been saying that Malco was going to be the first one to come back. Now it seems like he's kind of switched that. He said Alo is kind of ahead of Malco, so I don't know if Malco had some kind of setback, but now it's looking like Alo could be back within the next couple games, and it might be a little bit further off on Malco. So we'll see how that plays out. But they got a big game against Temple on Sunday. Temple lost at SMU last night, so they're tied with Memphis. Memphis is one game ahead of them. Memphis has a chance to go up 2 games on them on Sunday, which would essentially be 3 games because they'd have the tiebreaker. So big game on Sunday for the Tigers, man. I'm looking forward to it, but I feel good where they are right now, man. You just wish they could have that Tulane game back, man, because they would be all alone in second place, man. It's sitting really pretty right now if they could have pulled that one out.
Isaac, I just looked at the box score from last year against SMU. Tyler Harris had 17 in that game, too. He might have a point, actually.
But you said, what about Tyler?
Yeah, again, last year against SMU with Kendrick Davis, he had 17 in that game, too. He might be onto something there.
Cooking Kendrick Davis.
Cooking Kendrick Davis.
Yeah, he was taking Kendrick Davis to the woodshed a little bit last night, man. Kendrick didn't really have an answer for it. He's pretty much getting everything he wanted. So, yeah, man, he told him, man, you better find Alo because this guy can't guard me, man. That's crazy. But he went off, man, broke the AAC all-time three-point record, man. So happy for Tyler. I'm happy he's somewhere where he's getting an opportunity to kind of be featured, and I think that's why Penny kind of made the decision to kind of move on, told him that he wasn't going to be able to be that guy and be free offensively with some of the guys he was bringing in. So always glad to see a Memphis kid out of Cordova High School, man, just go down there doing his thing, man, leading scorer for USF, man. So good on Tyler.
Give Isaac a follow at Isaac _NBA. That's at ISAAC __NBA. Check out his podcast. If you love the Grizzlies, you'll love it. At Ethos Grizzlies. Podcast is straight fire. Don't forget the TigerSportsReport.com. And he joins me every single Thursday. By the way, he is a Cowboys fan. Last question. Who's going to win the big game?
Man, this is a tough one. I guess you got Jalen Hurts kind of banged up. You got Patrick Mahomes kind of banged up. I want to say Philly, but I think I'm going to go with Kansas City, man. With Philly, I still feel like Kansas City has been there, done that. They've been in more of these battles. Patrick Mahomes, I think in a vacuum, is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, obviously. So I got to go with the better quarterback, man. If Patrick Mahomes is right, you just got to worry about their receivers, some of those injuries. But I think Kansas City, with those weapons they have offensively, I think they find a way to get it done.
Pat Mahomes, if he gets a second title, man, that gunslinger 100% puts the exclamation point that he is the face of the NFL. Man, Isaac, I appreciate your time. I hope you have a blessed week. Enjoy the big game. We'll do it again next week, brother.
Will do, man. Talk to you next week.
That is Isaac Simpson. We got to take a quick break. We're back in 2 Shake Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The experienced technicians at Conway Services are ready to solve all of your drain problems. For a limited time, take advantage of our 83 or It's Free drain clearing special. Feel secure knowing the trusted professionals at Conway Services guarantee that if we can't clear it, you don't pay for it. Call now or visit conwayservices.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 64210, 64365 EAS, MS 19668.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The all-new Nissan Ariya is a fully loaded EV. It's brimming with style and power.
Up to 389 horses of it.
Innovation and intelligence.
E-Force all-wheel drive.
It'll pin you to your seat.
Your very plush seat.
The all-new, all-electric Nissan Aria. Nissan Aria with e-Force expected availability early 2023. e-Force cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. e-Force and 389 horsepower available on Platinum Plus. Nissan calculation using 1-foot rollout testing with long-range battery and e-Force only in sport mode with e-step off. These results are for comparison only and should not be attempted on public roads. Drive responsibly. See nissanusa.com for details.
You don't think about a lawyer until something goes wrong. When that happens, let attorney Stephen Leffler fight for you and your family. You don't leave the house in the morning expecting an accident, but it happens every day. A car wreck, you slip and fall, or you get accused of a crime and find yourself fighting for your reputation. Stephen Leffler has been fighting for you for over 35 years. Don't do it alone. Let Stephen Leffler fight your battles for you. Call Stephen Leffler, 901-527-8830, or go to LefflerLaw.com. Here to fight for you and your loved ones.
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. And we've been busy, man. NBA trade deadline day it is. And 2 o'clock is the deadline. Bing, bang, boom. Moves have been made. The Lakers got a lot better. The Mavericks. The Suns got KD. Holy moly. By the way, getting KD, I don't even think people understand how good that is. Like how crazy that is. And how crazy awesome KD is. Do you know how many guys in the NBA, or how many times it's happened in the NBA where a guy finished the season 50, 40, 90. And if you don't know what that means, shoots 50% from the field, 40% from three-point line, and 90% from the foul line. It's extremely rare. Only 9 players have done it. Larry Bird did it twice. Steve Nash did it 4 times. It's only happened 13 times in the NBA. And I was looking this up. Do you know that Durant, of course, Durant is also a guy who's done it a few times, but his career numbers, he almost averages 50, 40, 90. I was looking this up. His field goal percentage is 49.8% for his career. His three-point field goal percentage is 38.4 for his career. And his free throw, 88.6. So sending KD to Phoenix, my goodness, they just got a machine over there.
They did, John.
Woo, man, we're going to be talking a little bit NBA.
He just wore one smaller shoe size.
If he just it could have worked out better for Sean Marks and Joe Tsai, and people wouldn't be absolutely smoking
The
them.
trade deadline is buzzing today. I know these aren't like big deals like Kevin Durant going someplace, but like just since you were talking to Isaac, he'd mentioned Thomas Bryant. That happened while y'all were talking. Jay Crowder having like 2 minutes before y'all started talking. Matisse Thybulle went to the Blazers while y'all were talking. Jaden McDaniels went to the Sixers. George Hill and Serge Ibaka just went to the Pacers. Whoa. I know these aren't like huge names, but like the trade deadline is buzzing.
Bang, bang.
I love it.
I love it. I love it. It's a little buzz out there. Plus, there's this huge game. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And I was just going to ask you this just to kind of help me clarify. Andy Reid.
Hey, Reid. He's a football coach, though.
He is a football coach. Yeah, I'm moving over that. I was going to say, if he gets this second Super Bowl, if the Kansas City Chiefs do win that bad boy, does Reid go down there as possibly Mount Rushmore coach? I mean, next year, he's going to be 4th all-time in wins. That'll be before Halloween next year. He's only the 14th coach in history, if he wins the Super Bowl, to have multiple Super Bowls. He's only behind basically Shula and the Hoodie for all their accomplishments. They're right in front of him. I mean, Andy Reid, what he could do, and it's amazing what winning one Super Bowl will do for you, because you won't be Bruce Smith, you won't be Dan Marino, you won't be Jim Kelly, the best to have never won the big one. But Andy Reid, he's trying to get up there, and Isaac Simpson says he likes Kansas City, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because I'm starting to lean towards the Chiefs, man.
Me too, John.
I'm starting to lean towards the Chiefs because, listen, let me tell you something. The Eagles, great football team. Spags gets more credit than Gannon does. Their defensive coordinator for the Eagles.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know that he gets criticized for not blitzing enough by Philly fans a lot? He led the league in sacks.
Didn't the Eagles win their last Super Bowl because they could get to the quarterback with just 4? What do you need to blitz so much for?
It's interesting. But by the way, though, everybody does love Jonathan Gannon now in Philadelphia. Did you see the viral video about him saying, "We're going to beat the blank out of these guys"?
No. That's great.
Yeah, he said
I
that to
love
Eagles
it.
fans.
Bulletin board material.
It went a little bit viral. So yeah, people are actually like him now that
If I could play
he's talking ish.
If I could play devil's advocate against Andy Reid being good, I'm ready. You ready? You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
How about win one without Patrick Mahomes? I do it on a bad team. And when you take the Texans to the Super Bowl, then I'll be impressed.
How about you? Why didn't you win it when you had T.O. and Donovan McNabb?
Exactly.
You know, come on,
Hey, a real coach would have kept Alex Smith as starting quarterback.
I need y'all to do me a favor. This first hour is brought to you by the Memphis Music Room. Go to memphismusicroom.com. Check out all the wonderful things that are coming, the events, plan parties, do all kinds of things. But I was there on Tuesday, and where was I? I was at 5770 Shelby Oaks Drive. It's not far. It's close to pretty much everybody. Go out there. I went out there for the Hang Suite. That's every single Tuesday. It starts at 8. It's only $10. It's you got it's an artist collective. It's an open mic situation. You have a bunch of professional artists come out there. You have some local artists from Memphis, and it's just a jam sesh. They opened up with, little Bill Withers, Use Me Up. Thank you for letting me be myself again. I'm telling you right now, Memphis Music Room has it going on. A beautiful bar, great food, great music. It's a great time. We're back with Evie Van Pelt on the other side. It's time to talk a little bit about the Ole Miss Rebels. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
But if there is no room upon the hill.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of yourself. Because when you feel empowered, you're more ready for life's challenges. BetterHelp is a great therapy option. It's flexible, affordable, entirely online, and it matches you with a licensed therapist. Let therapy help empower you. Visit BetterHelp.com/tryit to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/tryit.
All day I pray for you, 'cause you're my favorite tree. You're my everyday Valentine.
Hey Memphis, this is Johnny B at the Memphis Music Room. Join us on Saturday, February 11th for Terrence Love, Lessons on Love, with special guests, Lena J.
Because of you, I never lose sight of what is real.
Ariel Rain. And Tim Walker with Can't Keep Chasing.
I'd rather have you than gravity, 'cause you keep me lifted. And that makes a difference. That makes a difference.
If you're looking for something special to do on Valentine's Day with that one that you love, you've got to be at Lessons on Love with Terrence Love. February 11th, Saturday night. Get your tickets at memphismusicroom.com.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. 4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house, and you know it's 12 o'clock on a Thursday, so that means we're doing a talk with Evie Van Pelt. She's the founder and the publisher of The Rebel Walk. Go to therebelwalk.com. Follow her on Twitter at The Rebel Walk. It is your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. Now, I am going to start in a specific place. A lot of people haven't been thinking a lot about baseball, probably, unless you're somebody like me. I'm a big baseball fan, but I was completely shocked when I saw that Ole Miss was picked 4th in the SEC West. Is that true, Evie? How are you today?
Yes. Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great, and I'm excited as always to be here. Just thrilled that you keep letting me come on. So thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, what a shock. I saw that came out this morning that was voted on, I guess, by the SEC coaches and preseason poll. And you're right, Ole Miss is indeed picked not 4th in the SEC, 4th in the SEC West. So we've got LSU 1, A&M 2, Arkansas 3, Ole Miss 4, Alabama 5, Auburn 6, and Mississippi State bringing up the rear in 7th in the preseason poll. Now, again, most of these absolutely mean nothing. So
True.
There you go. And I'm fine entering the season with everybody underestimating us. But come on, we are the defending national champions.
I know.
So.
Isn't that just wild to think about it? I mean, Mississippi State won it 2 years ago. Ole Miss won it last year. And both Mississippi schools are 4th or below. That's just, it's a wild world we live in then. But I also did see Jacob Gonzalez, best shortstop in the SEC, maybe?
I think best shortstop in the SEC, if not, in the country. I mean, he's just phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what kind of season Gonzo has, and looking for a really big one. We've talked about it before. He's picked in the top 5, I think, number 3 in one ranking and number 5 in the other of the top MLB draft picks. So that'll be pretty exciting to see when that happens. But let's enjoy him this season all we can.
Yes, we can, and I know everybody's excited. What is it, February 17th, Ole Miss baseball, they started up, don't they?
Yes, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. against the Delaware Blue Hens. Friday, Saturday, Sunday series against them.
February's big because it's not just Valentine's Day on the 14th, but Ole Miss baseball starting on the 17th.
Absolutely, and I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter. I know Coach Bianco and Ole Miss baseball's Twitter account have focused on it, and some former players. The students have been in line, ready to stake their right field spots. They open up tomorrow morning, and they've been in line for days, like 4 days early. They've been there through the cold, through, it's been pouring down rain, and they have been in line to get their right field spot when that opens up. So I think, if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. And it's not just because they're the defending national champions. The students are just phenomenal at Ole Miss, so that's wonderful.
I did see I did see this. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but yeah, y'all tweeted on the Rebel Walk. It's like 3 days before the right field setup, and you did a nice pan. Whoever was filming that, and it is crazy. You just don't see that anywhere else in the country except for in the Southeast. I mean, baseball is big down here.
It surely is, and I think that, you look at the number of SEC teams that made it to the College World, that made it to Omaha last year. So, a lot of SEC West talent there too. But yeah, it's incredible. And Coach Coach Bianco tweeted something about it yesterday, that there were so many students that showed up. There was not enough room in the parking lot, and they had to actually move them into Swayze to left field for the time being to hang out before they race over to get their spots in right field. So it's just, I know there's always so much excitement surrounding Ole Miss baseball and SEC baseball, and boy, like we say, coming back as the defending title winners, that makes it even more special.
I got to say, man, I'm watching this video. I've watched a couple of them now about the young fellows and the gals out there waiting to get their right field seats. No, Ole Miss knows how to have a little fun, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Let's just say that as I've had a number of students tell me, 49 degrees at Swayze is colder than 49 degrees anywhere else. It's been cold out there and wet, and but they've definitely found ways to entertain themselves, and maybe they've had a few hottie-toddies to keep themselves warm.
Yeah, I think they probably did. It looks like they had a little bit of fun, but I'm fired up for a little bit of baseball. I know everybody's getting ready for it. Again, it starts on the 17th, and also I saw that Tim Elko is going to be doing the Breakfast with Champions, the FCA thing, Saturday, February 18th. So go watch the games, have a little Breakfast with Champions, get ready for a little Ole Miss baseball this season.
Yes, he and his dad, John Elko, are going to be the featured speakers at this year's FCA breakfast, and so that's going to be wonderful. They've got they're just really super people. Tim, beyond just being a phenomenal player, is an outstanding person, and they've got a great testimony that I think people will want to hear. So.
Evie, what will they be serving Wheaties at this Breakfast with Champions?
I don't know. They should. There needs to be. If there's not a Wheaties box with Tim Elko on the cover, then I'm telling you, Wheaties is doing it wrong.
I agree. They would sell a lot of boxes in the state of Mississippi, at least.
They sure would, at least in the northern part of Mississippi.
Yeah, maybe in Starkville, not as many. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, the SEC just, everybody knows it just means more down here in the Southeastern Conference. I could not believe it. I mean, I can believe it. It's the SEC. But did you see the conference announced $721.8 million in total revenue? Of course, that's going to be divided by the 14 universities. Comes out to be about $49.9 million per school, and that does not include the bowl revenue and things of that situation. So, yeah, the SEC's making that money, ain't they?
Yeah, it does just mean more money. Absolutely. And that was an astounding figure. I saw that when it came out. I mean, think about that. Keith Carter, you wake up and you get an extra $50 million, thrown into the athletic coffers. That's not too shabby.
That is not too shabby at all. Now, the SEC coaches had their meeting. I saw Lane Kiffin tweet how, it just kind of really hit him. He wasn't, he was sitting next to Mike Leach last year at this time, and he's now actually, it kind of hit him that he's gone. That's a very sad thing that came out of there. But did you get anything out of the SEC meetings, the coaches' meetings?
No, not yet. I haven't. We'll focus on that probably later on today. But, yeah, I think there's a lot of, interesting things that they're going to be talking about, and hopefully we'll have something coming out on that soon. But, yeah, it was so poignant to me, him bringing that up, that he isn't going to have Mike Leach sitting next to him, and he tweeted something about, how he always kept it so real. And I think there's going to be a real big void there. And, we've talked about it before. I think that with Mike Leach at Mississippi State and Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss and them going so far back and being such good friends, I think it really kind of cooled things down in the rivalry. The rivalry was still absolutely, something else, but I think it kind of made it a more civil rivalry. And, I hope that continues with their new head coach. I don't know that it will or won't, but it was nice for a while for the rivalry to be focused on the actual football and not off the field things.
Yeah, it really is. Now, I'm going to talk a little basketball here in a second, but I was kind of curious because I haven't been paying much attention. Any, college football news coming out of Oxford?
Well, I don't know if your listeners know, but we've got until March 21st. I'm counting down the days. March 21st will be the first day of spring practice for Ole Miss, so that's not that far away. The Grove Bowl is set for April the 15th. So we can forget about tax day and just go hang out in Oxford at the game. That'll be fun. But really and truly, the spring practice, March 21st, I'm looking forward to that. I think that we'll see, that next portal window opens up May 1st for players who are not in the portal. They can get in. And so that's going to be interesting to see kind of after the spring. People kind of take stock of where they fit in the lineups and may, enter the portal. But no, looking forward really to seeing, that quarterback battle. It's going to be fun to watch. I want to be there day one watching to see who takes what reps and how many.
Yeah, I'm very excited. That quarterback room is going to be everybody's going to be talking about that pretty much all year long. Now, back to a little bit of basketball. It's nice to talk to you after an Ole Miss win. They actually beat Georgia 78-74. The next game, I think, Saturday, they play Georgia? South Carolina. South Carolina.
Yeah.
They just beat Georgia.
Yeah. I mean, let's play Georgia again if we can get another win and they'll let us count it. But, great for them to get in the win column again. I think, maybe it helps them know a little bit what they need to do. I was really encouraged that this one, was a little tight at the end, but they did what they needed to do to hang on and get the win, and that has not been the case. The old adage is that the teams, in March, they say the teams that are scary are the teams that have forgotten how to lose. Well, Ole Miss up until now had kind of forgotten how to win. So it's really good to see them get back in that. And, they're on, they've had so many different starting lineups. I mean, I think they've had between 10 and 15 potentially different lineups. So that's been something that they've, had to work on. And so now I think it's going forward, it's really probably more about finding some consistency. I think Jamin Brakefield and Miles Burns both had great games. And so let's hope, we kind of turn the corner here.
That would be nice. I know everybody, I know Kermit would appreciate that. If you can start putting the ball in the hole, it'd make everybody feel a little bit better down in Oxford. Now, the ladies, they're playing very good basketball. Together they thrive, as Coach Yo likes to say. They've been, right now, let's be real. The top teams in the SEC in basketball are out of control. I saw the LSU team play the other night. I was like, whoa. What's that girl, like Precious or something? Oh, my, I can't.
Yes.
Holy man, this woman can play some hoops. Can she not? Now, they're scary, but how close is Ole Miss to being with the upper echelon?
Well, it's going to be really funny to see. I think Ole Miss right now is 19-5 overall and 8-3 in conference. And that 8th win that they got when they beat Florida 68-42 Sunday, that 8 conference wins is kind of the unofficial threshold for getting into the NCAA tournament. So I'm not worried about that. I will tell you, they play Kentucky Monday at home, and then their Thursday consists of a road trip to Baton Rouge, and then they return home Sunday to face South Carolina. So they get
that's back to back. So they get to go to LSU, Thursday. And then they. Oh my goodness!
Yes, then they come home and play South Carolina on Sunday. So I think we're fixing to get a really good idea of how close they are to that. I really don't think they're that far off. I really don't. And, interestingly, before the Super Bowl Sunday, we kind of have the Super Bowl of women's basketball because Sunday at 1, LSU and South Carolina play each other. So I think that's going to be a good one. I'm going to watch that. Can't wait to see that. But, I think they're actually going to match up pretty well.
So LSU is currently 3rd in the country. South Carolina is 1st in that game. Is that in Columbia?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm not sure. I think it is. I'll have to confirm that. I'll check that out.
Actually, I can tell Jay to do that. Find out, Jay, if they're playing in South Carolina Sunday, February 12th. I think it is. I would say that's going to be a tough game for LSU to go on the road and beat it. Dawn don't play no games.
No, she really doesn't. And I think that, let's see, I was going to see if I can find that out.
It is
in
1
South
o'clock.
Carolina.
It is in South Carolina, 1 o'clock. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'll be looking forward to that. That's a little something to do before the Super Bowl. I like that.
Yes, and they're both 23-0. I mean, That's just crazy, isn't it? So
That's
going to be fun to watch. And, Ole Miss is in position right now. They look to be able to get the double bye into the SEC tournament. I think I've been kind of looking a little early, but looking at some of the bracketology, I think ESPN guy has Ole Miss as an 8 seed. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. I mean, I'm in postseason. I'm spending the travel budget going wherever it is they're going to be.
I feel you on that one. Edie, all right, so we talked a whole lot about baseball and football and basketball. Now I got to talk about it. It's perfect because, you're going to be watching a little LSU South Carolina. But who are you going to be cheering for when the big game starts, 5:30, Kansas City or Philadelphia?
Well, I have to go with A.J. Brown.
That's what I figured.
Philadelphia. Yes. I'm looking for A.J. to have a really big Super Bowl. I think, since he got traded to Philadelphia, hasn't he just been on fire? I mean, I think broke their single season receiving yards record, and I think he's looking to win it all.
I'll tell you one thing, that Eagles team, they are stacked. Their wide receivers from Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts has been tearing it up. But it's amazing what happens when you get a guy like A.J. Brown. If you start throwing him the dead gum football, Tennessee could have done it a little bit more. Take note, Ryan Tannehill.
Yes, and I mean, my gosh, I think the latest I saw, I think the Eagles were -1.5. And so close game looks like, and over under a 50.5. So I don't know. I think I'm going with the Eagles.
Yeah, A.J. Brown this year, 1,496 yards, 11 touchdowns, 88 receptions. I'm looking for him to have a pretty big game as well. I'm excited about this thing. I think it's going to be a shootout. So I'm fired up about the big game. Now, you're rooting for the Eagles. Do you think they're the team that actually pulls it out?
That's a good question. I think if I'm putting my money where my mouth is, I think I like the Eagles. Eagles -1.5. Yeah, I think I would. I do think that they're going to win. So I know it's hard to bet against Mahomes. I mean, Mahomes is just something else. So give him his due. But I think the Eagles are really, really talented too.
I do too. Evie, do me a favor and tell everybody what you got coming down the week, where they can find you. Plug away, please.
Okay. Well, they can find us at therebelwalk.com and on Twitter at therebelwalk, and I'm at Ole Miss Evie, and we're going to have we're continuing to have baseball coverage and football, such that it is. We'll definitely keep you posted on the men's and women's basketball, and we're just excited about spring getting started here before too long.
Yeah, me too. I love it. Now, also got to say real quick, I saw Austin Eldridge talk about somebody excited about baseball season. My man is fired up.
He is, and we've got a show he's doing with two of our other baseball writers, Chris Muller and Nick Filipovich, and they're going to be doing shows each week. They'll be doing a wrap-up show on Sunday after weekend series, and they'll probably be doing a midweek preview. So, yeah, they had their first one this last week, so people can go find it either on our Twitter, or they can actually go to the Rebel Walk on YouTube and find that'd probably be the easiest way to find a recording of it. But he is excited. They were all three in Omaha, and I think we're all looking forward to getting back.
Well, Evie, enjoy your weekend and especially enjoy your Sunday. Watch a little LSU South Carolina and then watch A.J. Brown dominate as the Eagles are going to go try to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Be blessed, my dear. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hotty toddy.
Hotty toddy. That is Evie Van Pelt. She don't play no games, man, when it comes to Ole Miss sports, does she?
I think I'm onto something with that Wheaties box.
I think you actually are.
She and I will split it 80-20 my way, obviously.
Well, you need to make some money because, Lord knows I'm not paying you much. Oh, man. We are going to take a quick break because we got to come back. We got to talk about the NBA trade deadline. Plus, we've got Hardenwood stories, but it is deadline day. 2 o'clock is coming and going.
You got to hold that note longer.
And we have had some crazy moves. We
have.
And I'm gonna talk about that and so much more on the other side. Plus, we have your bets. And I don't know if you noticed, I am hotter than a firecracker in college basketball.
Cooter Brown.
Hotter than a firecracker. Hotter than Cooter Brown. Do you know how hot Cooter Brown is?
He's pretty hot.
Yeah, I agree. That dude's a 10, right?
Oh, it's attractiveness hot? I thought he'd been like walking on some coals or something.
No.
Like Biggums, Tyrone Biggums.
Tyrone Biggums, that's smoking crack.
Yeah, but remember when they do?
When he does.
I'm the way Joe Rogan.
When he walks across the hot coals like
right.
it's nothing, and then remember at the end, at the very end of that strip.
Hey, wait, what is he doing? He's eating something.
They had to eat.
It's it was a type of penis.
Yeah, it was I think a bull's.
Yeah, something like that.
And like nobody else can eat them, and he eats like 2, and he's like, "Excuse me, you gonna eat that?
You gonna eat yours?
Can I finish yours?"
Can I have the rest of yours?
Oh, we get off track really quickly, but on the other side, it's NBA, it's funny stories, and we got your bets on Sports 56 98.5 FM.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This season, we're celebrating how basketball is evolving, on and off the court. Let's raise a glass of Hennessy to all the artists taking the game to new heights. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA. Never stop, never settle. Please drink responsibly. Imported cognac Hennessy, 40% alcohol by volume. 2023. Imported by Moet Hennessy USA Incorporated, New York, New York. Hennessy is a registered trademark.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel Sportsbook. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is simple to use. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique, fun bet types like same-game parlay, and exclusive always-on promotions such as enhanced odds boosts on the biggest events to let you get more action out of every game day. And if you win, they even get you your winnings safely in as little as 24 hours. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started and be sure to sign up with promo code CASH so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code CASH. Must be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
The only app you need at your Super Bowl party is FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Download FanDuel and bet Super Bowl 57 with a no-sweat first bet. You'll get up to $3,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. FanDuel lets you bet on everything from the money line to point spreads to who will score a touchdown. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is safe, secure, and super easy to use. Join FanDuel with promo code WIN to claim your no-sweat first bet on Super Bowl 57. That's promo code WIN. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
21 plus in select states. Must be present in select states to wager. First online real money wager. Only $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable sportsbook bonus bets, which expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. For Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit www.mdgambler.org in Maryland. 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit www.1800gambler.net in West Virginia.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know: Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood, across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswangerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Wiloshin here for Homer Skelton Hyundai. I love to brag about my friends. Right at the corner of Highway 78, Lamar, and the first exit in Mississippi, Craft Road. They always come up with some innovative program that makes you want to just go out and get your brand new car. And I'm talking Hyundais. Right now, you can get a new Santa Fe. You can get a new Tucson. You can get any brand new Hyundai, state-of-the-art technology. You can get that without paying for 3 months. You've heard me correctly. You can get a brand new Hyundai and not pay for 90 days. This just started. It's going all the way through January. You could say a Christmas present, a holiday present from Homer Skelton Hyundai. Again, make your deal, and then don't worry for 90 days about paying the very first payment, and only at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Jay Morgan Harder's in the house. It is a thirsty Thursday. I'm sure that makes you think of the best, and that would be Tito's handmade vodka. If life hands you lemons, you never stress. You don't ever freak out. You just calmly make a lemon drop, but you always make sure it's with the best, and that would be Tito's handmade vodka. It is gluten-free. It is crafted and distilled right here in the United States down in Austin, Texas, and it has a very unique flavor. It is slightly sweet with a black pepper note balancing everything out. Doesn't matter if you're having crafting a cocktail or you're drinking it neat. Get your Tito's on today. Jay.
Hey, John.
Let's go to Hardenwood.
This is Access Hardenwood.
First and foremost, I just have to say, I don't know what's going on, but did you see, have you seen what Britney Spears is doing?
No.
I usually don't find these things or get caught up on them, but it's, all over the social media stuff. She's just taking her clothes off and taking pictures and talking crazy and posting them.
I remember she got in a fight at a drive-thru a couple weeks ago.
She started crying at the drive-thru
months ago.
And then got in a fight with the lady because she asked her if she was going to be all right. Started screaming at her, "You don't know me."
I think it was a man, wasn't it?
Or a man, whatever. A person at the drive-thru.
Because I think that played into what she said to him was the fact that it was a man or something
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. It was
I can't remember the details exactly.
I guess men can't ask you if you're all right if you're crying now.
Yeah, that's a whole new thing at the gym. But what's Britney Spears doing now?
This is what I was going to say. This doesn't make any sense. Britney Spears' family and her friends have now publicized that they are planning an intervention. Isn't an intervention supposed to be kind of you kind of ambush the person? You just don't let them know. All of a sudden, you invite them over to your house, and then you got all your friends and family, and they're like, "Britney, we love you. We're worried about you. We really think you need some help." Isn't that an intervention?
Yeah, they just did one with Tony Romo.
Really?
Not a real one.
Oh, because he's just trash. He's not good at he used to be great at broadcasting football games.
I mean, those TV executives are idiots though.
Well, now now he's horrible.
He doesn't watch as much film.
Do you know why Colin Cowherd, who follows me, said that Tony Romo has gotten bad at broadcasting games? Do you know this reason?
No, I'd love to hear it though.
It is a wild one. He said, and I quote, he always asks, one of the first questions he asks somebody if he's about to hire them, "Do you love golf?" And if they say, "Yes, I like golf," then he says, then they're okay. If he says, "No, they don't like golf," he says, "Hire them." But if they say they love golf, don't hire them, because they're going to be at work all day thinking about golfing. Every weekend they're going to be on the golf course. and every person thinks they can become a PGA pro, and they're out there trying to fix their handicap, and they're going to be in the office practicing their putt, practicing their swing, and they're never going to get any work done. So he says, if you want to have a successful business, do not hire people who love golf. Tony Romo wants to be a professional golfer. He's like a 1 handicap, and he says that's the reason his broadcast career is going in the tank, because they can't get Tony off the damn course to watch a little film and get prepped for the football games.
John, did you hire me?
I did.
I play a lot of golf.
Do you really?
Yeah, do you want to fire me now?
Nah, because
you're running a successful business here.
I was going to tell you, I really actually, I like you. Like, sadly, to be honest with you people out there, you do watch a lot of film.
And I still play golf. There's time for all of it, John.
Well,
but it's not your point I'm arguing with. It's Colin Cowherd.
It's Colin's.
Also, I do a pretty good Tony Romo impression. You ready?
Do it.
I don't know, Jim.
That's okay. I'll give you.
I don't know, Jim.
That is an okay impression. All right, what do you got, by the way?
I had a bunch of other stories, but I just found this one, and I had to start with it because it's crazy. John, did you know killer whale moms are still supporting their adult sons, and it's costing them?
Hold on.
It's relatable.
Wait a second. Killer whales are still supporting their sons?
Their adult sons, yeah.
And it's costing them?
Because the sons aren't able to go, like, catch their own food, so, like, the moms are having to go catch, like, salmon for them and other types of fish and stuff like that to feed the adult sons.
So male killer whales right now, like this generation of killer whales is kind of like y'all's generation of the woke kids.
That's right.
We're very disappointed, and we have to do everything for you because y'all need to toughen up, bucko.
It's a relatable story.
Very relatable story.
I live at home.
I would tell you one thing, man.
My mom made me a sandwich for lunch today.
Dude, I am telling you right now, don't ever leave, bro.
John, I'm not planning on it. As of right now, I don't make enough money.
Well,
I can't afford another place.
Hey, and I'm just going to tell you right now, like, if you go check it out outside, like, have you ever been to the grocery store lately? Probably not because your mom goes. But, dude, like, eggs are like $5. Milk's expensive. Everything at the damn store is expensive. Let her keep buying it. You just keep eating it.
In the study, it says that when a mom dies, the male son usually dies within a year or two in killer whales. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, so the boys need to do whatever they can to keep their moms alive.
They do.
That's kind of sad. So male killer whales,
can't
or at least
for
the
themselves.
sons for just this generation of killer whales, right?
Yeah, no. The baby boomer killer whales are doing fine.
Yeah, the baby boomer killer whales are straight up awesome.
They're doing great. The Gen Xers are doing
It's pretty sad stuff.
John, I have like other stories that I find a little bit more fun, but that one's good. You know Jeremy Renner when he got run over by a snowmobile?
Yeah, I do.
He's actually up and in a wheelchair now, and his face is starting to look normal again. He's doing a lot better.
Wow.
That's not a great story. John, I have another story. Police find in New Zealand. Police find cocaine worth $300 million floating in the Pacific Ocean.
Whoa. They found $340 million worth of cocaine?
Just $300 million worth is what it says.
And it was just floating in the ocean?
Floating in the Pacific Ocean.
Well, like, was nobody looking for this?
It looks like it was dumped at a floating transit point in the Pacific Ocean where it would have been picked up and transported to Australia. Instead, it was found by police.
Do you think they're partying right now? Like, if you found $340 million worth of yay,
I would
not
tell anybody and sell it.
You'd probably get arrested. That's a lot to move, man. I don't think you have those kind of chops.
No, I got those chops.
I don't know, dude. I don't
Pablo Escobar.
I don't see the.
You don't see it in me?
I just don't see the Escobar. I don't see a little El Chapo in you. I could see more of you like.
I know I got a great platform here on the
lemonade
radio.
stand.
I've got a great platform here on the radio. If anyone is interested in cocaine, I just found a bunch in the Pacific Ocean. Do you think that kind of thing would get me in trouble?
I would also think it would put you on the radar for the popo.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. They don't really like
NSA,
that.
if you're listening, I'm just joking. That's not. I don't actually have that.
But
if you're not the NSA,
what are they
though,
gonna
hit me
do
up.
if you have found $340 million worth of yayo? What do you do with it if you're the police?
I don't know. They put it in an evidence locker.
So it's just sitting in some locker?
What do you think happens to all the drugs and stuff in an evidence locker? It can't stay there like forever. Where do they put it eventually?
I mean, I hear that they need some funds. Why don't you just go out to go to Dead & Company and sell it at the live?
What do they do?
Follow
with it, though?
Panic.
Have you
Billy
ever thought
Strings.
about that? I'm looking that up.
Actually, I have no idea.
Isn't that weird? Like, it can't just accumulate and sit in there for the rest of time.
Nah, because, I mean, like, does cocaine have, like, a shelf life? Can it go bad?
I don't know, does it?
I don't know. These are things that I don't know. 901-360-8255. If you know that, if cocaine, do they put an expiration date on a bag of Yay when you buy it today?
They burn it.
So basically, they have a big crack smoke out.
They keep it in a evidence locker or a crime laboratory for a certain amount of time. And according to drugfree.org, law enforcement officials use facilities including hospital incinerators, foundries, and crematories to burn evidence.
Do you know if you put fire to cocaine, you can, so the person who's doing that job, they're probably just as high as Tyrone Biggum.
Garrett Morris used to smoke cocaine.
I don't know who that is.
He was the black guy on the original Saturday Night Live cast. You know, that when Chevy Chase would sit there and they would do the news for the hard of hearing, and he would be like, "We are not," he would sit there and have the circle, and that's Garrett Morris that's screaming.
That's funny.
And he used to smoke cocaine while working at Saturday Night Live. He's still alive, remarkably. And he still acts. He was in an episode of a TV show I watched this morning, actually. I'm getting off base. John, you got a story? I do.
I got a wild one. Do you know who Riley Gaines is? Probably not, because she's a swimmer. She's an All-American swimmer. She's really good. And remember, there was a couple swimmers who've been coming out against Leah Thomas. Remember who Leah Thomas is? Born a man. Still has its package. 6'4", feet look like fins. And she went out there and won the national championship in, quote, women's sports. Yet, a lot of people out there, this is something that we 100% did not know. But now Riley Gaines has come out and exposed Leah Thomas and said, imagine being in a locker room with a bunch of women, and all of a sudden a 6'4" man walks in with his junk hanging out. I don't know about you, but when I think of 6'4" and I see his junk, his business, I definitely don't think that that's a woman. The fact that Leah Thomas was able to compete is an absolute travesty, and it shouldn't happen. Women's sports are dying on the vine, yada, yada, yada. And remember, I talked...
She continues,
yeah, she just goes on and on and on about how horrible it is.
I think an actual... You know what you should do?
And the reason I bring this up is because yesterday it was Martina Navratilova who was going out against it, and remember the surfer who got her arm bit off by a shark.
Mm-hmm.
So now everybody... that's 3 women in 3 days who have gone out, and they're getting upset because all these... A lot of sports are adopting the, quote, Olympic rule, where you don't have to be actually a girl to swim or compete, but if you feel like a girl on that day, I guess you get to compete.
You know what would be a really good type of plastic surgery to get if you were a swimmer is get your feet webbed. You know what I mean? Put extra skin flaps in between your toes where your feet turn into flippers. It would make you a lot faster,
If you were a swim coach, you might be the Gino of swim. Yeah, you might be the Gino of swimming coaches.
Isn't that a good idea?
Because you get your swimmers to do that, yeah, they're definitely going to be faster than other people.
Everybody.
I don't.
If I was a swimmer, that's what I would do. Is there there can be rules against that? You're not allowed to have plastic surgery on your feet. There's no way it's that specific. That's what I would do. Think about it, John.
I think I like it.
I also have another story. Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
Oh, I know them. They're Breaking Bad.
Characters from the hit show Breaking Bad.
Walter White is the doctor. I mean, the genius who knows how to cook the meth.
Bryan Cranston.
And what's his name? Jeremy. What's the other guy?
Jesse Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman is the guy who has the chops to move the product. See, he has a little El Chapo in him. He has a little Pablo. You don't have any Pinkman in you.
Raymond Cruz. Well, that's meth.
I mean, yayo, meth, they're both uppers.
Yeah, but they're cooking meth. I would be selling $300 million
worth of
cocaine.
Okay. I still think today it'd be extremely hard to move.
It might
be honest with you.
No, I could do it. I believe in myself. You just got to believe in yourself, John. Have you ever heard? My mom always tells me that, and I live with her. Well, Walter White and Jesse Pinkman reunite for a new Breaking Bad scene ahead of the Super Bowl. They're going to be in a Super Bowl commercial together, John, for popcorners. Ask me what popcorners are.
I don't know.
No, ask me.
What are popcorners?
I don't know, John. It's some kind of snack. It looks like a chip, but popcorners would make you sound... It sounds like popcorn, does it not?
I guess.
But it looks like a chip.
Maybe it tastes like popcorn and is a chip.
Yeah, maybe so.
Did you see Vontae Davis? Do you remember the ex-NFL star Vontae Davis, number 1?
No.
Well, you're going to know who he is for sure. He was a former defensive back, remember?
Oh, DB.
He used to ball out with the Colts, et cetera, et cetera. Well, he was in an accident, and he almost killed somebody. And he was so drunk, it's not even funny. It's a sad situation. My man was so drunk, you can hear the cops yelling at him. Dude, do you know you almost, like, kind of not, like, you know, give him a tongue lashing, like, you idiot. He fell asleep while he was getting a tongue lashing from the police. He was so drunk. Like, that's
a level of inebriation.
Like, how in the heck, like, how, I guess.
Probably took some downers, too, along with that, right? He couldn't have just been drunk.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that's crazy.
But all
like
I know
Ambien
is...
and alcohol. That's reckless speculation. I should say that up beforehand. Don't sue me, please.
What? About what?
I said maybe Ambien along with alcohol. But don't sue me. It's just reckless speculation. That was what was in the latest episode. I shouldn't say that because that's a spoiler. But I watched the new Poker Face this morning, and Ambien and alcohol might play a role in it.
Really?
That's right. Episode 5. Very good stuff, John.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are
Also, got to know right now, what do we got on the NBA? Any NBA trades lately? Because we've had some crazy stuff today. The Lakers got a whole lot better.
Literally, the last thing is what we said earlier. George Hill and Serge Ibaka going to the Pacers from the Bucks. That's involved in the Jay Crowder deal where he's going to the Bucks. And then also Matisse Thybulle going to the Blazers for Jaden McDaniels going to the 76ers. And that's the latest things we have. And then Isaac Simpson sent Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets. That's big. Jakob Poeltl yesterday to the Raptors. I think that's probably the biggest
Right
trade.
now, who's the biggest winner of the trade deadline? Would it be the Suns?
Yeah. It depends on how you judge it. Like, going forward, it might be the Nets. I mean, seriously, they got 4 first-round picks, and Mikal Bridges is a star you could build around.
And they also got, for some reason, like 5 second-round picks. But what are you going to do with Ben Simmons, who's basically a bum, taking a lot of money?
Do you think he's on the trading block?
Dude, there's nobody that would trade for Ben Simmons.
He's got something
Ben
wrong with his
Simmons'
head.
mom wouldn't even take him.
Well,
Telling
he might. You don't think Ben Simmons could live with his parents like I do?
I don't think so. I don't think that would work out. Now, I got to remind
I knew Ben Simmons was a quack when he decided to go play for Johnny Jones at LSU as the number 1 player in the country. That tells you all you need to know about Ben Simmons. That guy don't care about winning.
Yeah.
Because Johnny Jones is a bum.
They didn't even make the Dead Gum tournament.
Johnny Jones stinks. He's an idiot.
All
Sorry,
right.
that's rough.
That's okay. But even Johnny Jones can appreciate Central Barbecue. In fact, everybody can appreciate Central Barbecue. All you have to do is go to one of their great locations. They have 4 of them, downtown Central, Summer, and out east on here on Poplar. Central Barbecue, where smoke is their sauce. They have the best wings, the best pulled pork. Their pulled chicken is straight fire. They got smoked turkey. Their wings, their smoked wings, oh my gosh, they are to die for. And their barbecue nachos. You can get them with pork or chicken, are flat out delicious. Head on to one of their 4 great locations, or you can go online to eatcbq.com. You can set up some catering events. You can have if you're going to have like 20 people over, maybe for like this big game, how about order Central Barbecue? Buy it in bulk, feed all the people, simply the best. You're watching the biggest game of the year. You probably should have the best barbecue in the world, and that is from Central Barbecue. Go to eatcbq.com, check them out, and you can ship that barbecue anywhere in the world. Don't touch the dial. We've got bets on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, and don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Dell Technologies President's Day event is here with deals to power all your passions. The savings start now on select sleek XPS laptops and more, powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget, special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything and monthly payment options with Dell Preferred Account. Just call 877-ASK-DELL for these limited time President's Day deals. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com.
Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I don't know what I was about to say.
Well, you combined welcome and back.
Is that what I did?
Into welcome back.
Welcome back to. Man, I'm getting through the show, which is pretty much amazing.
That's a good show today, John.
Thank you.
Truly.
Definitely came in here not feeling my best, but hey, I'm going to survive.
You know what got you through today, though? Deadline day. But how do you say it? It's deadline day.
Speaking of dead, I got a
story. The Grateful Dead.
I love the Grateful Dead. I got a story about a guy who's not dead, and he's lucky to be alive.
That's good.
And you might know who he is because he's NHL's Rasmus Andersson. Do you know who he is?
No.
Well, he's not that great. He's played in 349 games, and he only has 23 goals. You know, like.
What, is he a defenseman, though?
It's a good question. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
It's a good question.
These aren't details that we have the answer.
I know he's Swedish.
Oh, Rasmus is Swede. Oh, he plays for the Calgary Flames, it looks like. He is 26 years old.
I would hate to be.
He's a defenseman. So that makes sense why he didn't have a lot of goals.
Like the cheerleaders, are they the Flamers? Like.
No.
Flames? Flaming?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, anyway, Rasmus Andersson almost got killed. So listen to this. Have you ever driven one of the little birds, the little scooters around?
I have. Actually, that's a lie. I haven't. I don't know why I said I had. Sorry. I haven't, John.
Why haven't you?
Lie?
No, why?
I don't know why. I don't live in Collierville. It's not like they're like.
Oh, yeah, they don't have a bunch of them.
And also, you have to, like, pay for them and stuff like that.
It's very, very, very inexpensive. You just get the app
scooter.
on your phone. That's how I used to travel a lot downtown because,
really?
One, the streets are so bumpy. Like, you think that they got infected with herpes. Every 40 feet you go and there's another bump. It's so annoying. I hate that.
The streets have acne.
Whatever. Acne, herpes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Same difference.
That's
not
right.
really. Not really.
No. all those teenagers, they got terrible case of herpes.
But the bird, like I used to drive it all the time. Well, I'm lucky I didn't get hit by a car because Rasmus Andersson was going to dinner around 6 o'clock. He was downtown Detroit. He was taking a bird. He was scooting along. He went across the crosswalk, and all of a sudden, bam, he gets hit by a car. Okay?
In Detroit?
Yeah, in Detroit.
Wow, the Motor City.
Yeah, in the Motor City.
So you have to be aware of motor vehicles.
Yeah,
in
you
the
need to be
Motor
in a
City.
motor vehicle if you're in the Motor City. But my man is okay, so that's the good news. He was going through the crosswalk. He got hit. Again, he's alive. He's doing well. But this is going to be a shocker. He's going to miss tonight's game.
Day to day, that's what it says.
He's going to miss tonight's game. They did say that he did want to play. Like, what a guy.
That's crazy.
He got hit by a car yesterday and wants to play in tonight's game. I love this guy. But the other thing I was going to say, this sounds weird about this whole thing. The Detroit Police Department says it was 100% just a basic accident. I have never heard the police go to a scene and all of a sudden not issue any tickets, not do anything, and just say, you know what? It was just a basic accident. Glad everybody's okay.
John, I agree. That's crazy. I was going to make fun of Canadians, but I haven't.
But the other thing I was going to say, if you didn't get a ticket and you're the guy who was driving a car, I saw the video. It looks like my man's his car's got a little bit of a dent in it from his big self going under the hood. Do you now sue him for damages to your car since it was just an accident?
Yes, because he's a hockey player and they're physical. John, I got to interrupt you, though. The NBA news, it never stops. The Nuggets are trading Bones Highland to the Clippers. Sources tell Adrian Wojnarowski and ESPN. And also, the Oklahoma City Thunder are trading Darius Baisley to the Phoenix Suns for Dario Saric. And a second-round pick.
Damn.
Oh, the Clippers will send the Nuggets a 2024 and 2025 second-round pick in exchange for Bones Highland.
Man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Just picks for Bones Highland? That's crazy.
Yeah, just picks, man.
There has to be a player involved.
Right now,
is good, man.
Doesn't say there's a player involved.
It says there's no player involved.
No, it does not. Now, I want you to know I like to gamble. We love to gamble. And I think I'm going to gamble on the Beavers. Gambling on the Beavers is a little bit dangerous sometimes, but you're getting 16 points against I think one of the more overrated teams in the country, UCLA. Jaime Jaquez is good. My man, what is it, Tiger
Campbell.
Pretty good. But these guys are not, I don't think, just super elite. I don't think this is a team that's just going to absolutely go out there and kill you. I mean, I watched them twice this year against USC. Boogie Ellis got off. I think the Beaver keep it close enough at home tonight in Corvallis. It's an 8 o'clock Pac-12 game. Hopefully you can maybe hear a little Bill Walton. Maybe he'll be on the call. I don't know. But I know I'm taking the Beavers plus the 16 against an overrated UCLA team. Jay, you don't have any bets because of the trade deadline, correct?
I'll go under in the Suns-Hawks game, under 229.5, just taking a flyer.
A flyer.
No particular reason. Just going for it.
By the way, speaking of getting off, did you hear about Kyrie yesterday? Like, is that the reason?
Man.
Like, he went completely ham on the Clippers yesterday. Did you expect that?
I didn't. That was a good game, too.
Yeah, it was a good game. Too bad I lost my bet. But, hey, we're going to win today. I hope everybody had a great show. I know I did. Jay Morgan, get out there. You make the world a better place. I'll see you tomorrow on the flip side. Peace.
When you take your first bite of a steak at 117 Prime, Memphis' premier downtown dining destination, you'll wonder if maybe